you are to harass me about this obvious thing that obviously everyone else is right about. I mean, duh, Kane. The, 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 you can't play a game in 720 anymore.
I'm not even bothered by like people thinking 720 is kind of outdated. Like, okay, fine, technology advances.
Yeah, I can get that.
We all thought 4x3 was here to stay. Okay, we get it, and now we have monitors that are longer than they are tall.
I miss 4x3, man.
I desperately miss 4x3. And I am well aware that it is only for a me thing, but god dang it. I miss it so freaking much. I miss when UIs were designed to be both readable and take up a proper amount of the screen instead of being microscopic every single game release.
They were good times. They were good times.
Yes. It was the first new century in 100 years.
Also, hi stream, how you guys doing? I'm just playing with trains. Don't mind me, Kane.
You're playing Legend of Zelda's Spirit Tracks!
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I meant. And by the way, the 3DS's resolution is too low.
Oh my god. Okay.
While we're on the topic of resolutions.
Huh?
Oh, hi, Jack.
Why are you talking about the 3DS?
We're just joking around, buddy. What are you doing?
Fortnite.
Oh, you're playing Fortnite now.
Yeah.
You stopped playing dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You gonna go back to it?
Not now. I'm just getting a different. I'm just going to a different game mode.
Oh, okay. Wow. Anyway.
Excuse me. I have a major hot take about some of the releases on the 3DS.
Before you say that, a follower of mine, Gavin here, says that you're starting to sound like him with the small writing thing, and he's 54. See here, Kane is half blind. Is kind of his problem.
Yeah. So having a screen that's wider than your field of vision isn't fun.
Yeah, it's
Like I said, it's a me thing. Did you miss that? I was pretty clear about that.
No, I don't think he's disagreeing with you. Small writing bothers him too. You know, just for obviously very different reasons.
Oh yes. But
anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, I think there were a lot of 3DS releases that were absolutely 100% held back by the 3DS.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's often the case with a lot of modern mobile games. Like, there's only so much you can do on a smaller platform.
It's not even just that, though, because, like, Ocarina of Time 3D and Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D, oh my god.
I have heard of the Class 18 Godzilla Boy. I think I talked about it before. I have to look it up exactly to know for sure. There's so many classes. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Kayan.
But Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D are on the 3DS, and those versions are excellent. They are great. I love them. I will never go back to the 64 versions ever again. But...
Yeah, but what if you, like, upscaled the 64 to be, like, 4K?
Still looks pretty ugly.
Still looks pretty...
I've done it.
it does.
Listen, Zelda fan. I know. I'm aware. I'm one of you. Trust me, I grew up on Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I love these games. But even on the N64, those games were ugly, probably due to the fact that the N64 could barely handle what they were pumping out on it.
I mean, that was due to the cartridges.
Yeah.
It was
cartridge.
They just didn't have the space for decent textures for the most part. Like, the system...
there were other games that looked way better texture resolution-wise than Ocarina of Time. I just think Ocarina of Time was bigger than those other games.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that was also the problem.
Yeah. Grezzo, I believe, is the company that did Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D, did an amazing job of remaking those games basically from the ground up.
Oh, God, hold on. My mom's calling me. I should probably answer them. Let me entertain the stream, Kane, quick!
Alright, I can do that.
You can't.
On the road to Viridian City, meet my friends along the way. Yeah, like the Grezzo remakes are excellent for many a reason. One of which being, there's a benefit that I don't think enough people are like fully understanding when it comes to the Grezzo remakes. Because back in the day, source code for games wasn't exactly backed up very well. It just didn't really have.
Well,
Look, your original source codes for Ocarina and Majora are probably long gone. With Grezzo making brand new ports of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, they have the source code sitting there. And I think that with that source code, you can do a lot more with more modern versions of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. You could port that to the Switch, for example. That would be amazing.
I'm going to Walmart and get Ashley.
You could even make a version of Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D that would include the ability to go back to the original textures. You know, like you could literally take this port and use it as the best of both worlds. And another thing you could do is you could do the same thing that fans have already done and have basically made fan-made 4K texture packs for the game that, honest to God, make them jaw-dropping. It is incredible for how good that game looks with just updated textures. It truly is magnificent, and it's really what I think I would love to see happen on the Switch. Welcome back.
I don't know why she thought that, Jack. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, my mom was trying to get out of taking my dad somewhere. Well, to get his vehicle. That's why he needed a ride. And I said I'd do it. And then my dad's like, no, well, no, Mom can do it. And then I was like, oh, okay, bye, Mom. I think he was trying to get her to actually go out of the house. So I was like, all right, whatevs. No problem for me. I am just fine with that. Anyway, how is everybody doing? What were we talking about? Were you actually entertaining the stream, or were you sitting there in silence and awkwardness?
I just talked a little bit about the potential of the Grezzo 3D Zelda remakes, because I think that there is a unsung benefit to Grezzo having done these remakes that everyone should appreciate, and that is the honest fact that potentially Nintendo might not have the source code for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the N64 anymore.
Yeah, but also here's that cease and desist for you.
Well, Grezzo officially made Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D.
I thought Grezzo was like a screen name. They're the ones that developed the remakes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. My bad.
No worries. There are fan-made HD texture packs, but I don't think Nintendo can do anything about that because it's just a fan-made texture pack.
That or they just don't bother, because that's not
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't, but they shouldn't do a lot of things they do, you know?
Yeah, I know, because they're stupid. They are very stupid.
Yeah, I got my Berkshires going.
Nice.
Yeah, the modding. I love the devs for Transport Fever 2 because they just made it as a fun, kind of game, and they are full tilt into the modding. So it's Steam Workshop enabled, and the mods like it just makes it's just because a developer can only put in so many locomotives in order to get a game out, But if you open that up to modding, then the community can be like, I want this engine, I want this engine, I want this engine, and suddenly, like, you can have whatever the heck you want all over the place.
It's funny how I was given shit for doing mods.
Who?
Because, yeah, mods are amazing. The amount of stuff that you can do, fix, change, or, really customize your experience with modding is awesome. It's underappreciated in a lot of ways.
Like one from the future?
Especially for just small things, like okay. Josh, I'm about to talk about a game, and I need you to hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
One of the most infamous problems with Aliens Colonial Marines was not something that was actually the game's fault at all. Due to a small typo in the INI file, that's what caused most of the major AI issues.
Really?
If you tweak the INI file, it won't fix everything, but it fixes a lot of the major issues with the AI.
Well, that wouldn't have really made it a good game, but it would have made it a lot better.
Exactly. And again, I'm not saying it's necessarily good, and it's a bad thing that a small mod was required to make that a fix, but literally, Josh, you could reinstall Aliens Colonial Marines, find that small INI tweak, and you would have a much better time, which is hard to go down from where you were, I know, but the point still stands. Like, that small little modification fixed a lot of major issues with the game, which is great. Like, you can literally take a bad game and make it good with tiny tweaks that were either overlooked or missed, or same. You get my point.
Do I?
In fact, fans didn't even stop there. There's literally a complete overhaul mod to fix even more issues outside of just the small INI tweak. Like, you're able to do a lot with modding. It's very cool.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of. I mean, some mods are just script changes, and they can make games better. Like they could, like modders have turned bad games into good games.
Yeah.
It's been done.
Modders are also responsible for a lot of revivals. There is and it's not necessarily a mod story, but it's one of Josh Strife Hayes' videos where he talks about, I think it was Fallen Earth Classic. He did a worst MMO ever on that game, and first and foremost, he loves that game, I will say. And one of the things that he talked about is that, the game pretty much died really, really heavily, but there was just a small group of people that decided to buy up the rights to it. Just a really, really small group of fans that bought it and keep the game alive in just a small couple of servers. They basically took out all the microtransactions and just let the game live on, and just for the people who want to play it. That's really cool. Oh, I don't know if Project 06 is done yet, but they are very, very close to it, I think. Project 06 is pretty freaking amazing. It is.
No!
It is.
No!
Josh, I need you to understand
I ain't doing it!
They made Sonic and Shadow unique.
I don't care what they did, it doesn't change anything.
It changes a lot.
The game's still... Honestly, Kane, I understand. I do, but I'm getting sick of people being like, Darkness look, they made Sonic 06 good, and I'm like, no, they didn't, because that plot still exists.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. I'm not gonna defend that fucking plot. I'm not. I'm just not. It's
Damn
bad.
straight you aren't. Also, I'm streaming on YouTube, so
Not bad.
it's okay.
But like, it's just, it's still good now. Like, the gameplay itself, and that was the thing that people wanted to be better, was the gameplay, because it's honestly one of the, it's one of the only other Sonic games in its style that exist anymore. I think that's one of the reasons people wanted to bring it back.
I get that. I get that because, you know, at its core, what they were trying to do was recapture the magic of the adventure games. That is absolutely what they were trying to do. The core mechanics are very, very, very much the adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if they were terrible.
Exactly.
That's the problem, is that it's trash.
And to be fair, in Sonic 06's defense as well, with no defense to that story, it was Sega's fault that it was that bad.
Oh, no. They were the ones that were like, we need it out for the holiday season this year, do it now. Also, apparently, this is a rumor. I can't confirm this, but someone told me this once, and it's... I don't know if it's true, but it also sounds like something that would happen.
Yeah.
Apparently, they actually released an older build of it.
Yeah, I heard about that rumor too.
That the actual release version was like 6 months older than the build they were working with. Which, again, don't know how correct that is, but I also kind of believe it. So not only did they release the game when it wasn't finished, but it also released an older version of an unfinished game, which is no, just bad.
Yep, pretty bad, But yeah, like, and I understand your pain with that, because it does get to a point where it's just annoying to deal with, you know, people asking you about it, and I get that.
I mean, that is my curse.
Indeed.
You know,
especially in the darkness where a lot of others just can't see it.
Yeah. To be fair, most of my requests nowadays are train related, and at least that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much all my requests anymore from most of my current fan base is hey, talk about this railroad, and I'm like, I'll see about it. 'Cause...
Also, in fairness to everyone in our group, I don't think anyone has ever actually, like, outside of me once when it first came out, because, you know, you basically asked for suggestions on this sort of thing at the time. I've only ever suggested it once for, like, doing a YouTube video on. Because you did try to do the fan game thing for a while.
I did cover it in its early stages.
Yeah.
I did do that. You know, because you weren't the only one that brought it up.
Yeah.
And, like, I was fine with talking about it. Doesn't mean I have to like it or care about it at all. And I don't, because I'm just like, yeah, that's great. That doesn't change. It doesn't really do anything. Like, it's still, it doesn't. Here's what it doesn't fix. It doesn't fix the story, yes, which is something I maintain. But it also doesn't fix what it did to the series at the time.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't undo the level of.
If they remade Prince of Persia Warrior Within with proper visuals and no change to the story and fixes to the gameplay,
you would still hate it.
I would still hate it, but I would at least, you know, be able to appreciate, oh look, they wanted to make it better. Cool. I don't care, but go for it.
Exactly. Like that's cool. That's cool. Also, this doesn't change anything. Because people were don't you like it now?
No!
Never!
I will like it for the gameplay and the gameplay alone, because honestly, I don't hate the Sonic Adventure style gameplay. I would like more, to a certain extent, of that, especially in a form that is maybe a little bit more, not refined, but maybe more open about it. I don't know. It's very. I didn't like City Escape that much as a level. It felt very odd. Like, it's just not the kind of level that I liked from the first Sonic Adventure, you know?
How dare you question City Escape?
Trust me, I'm not gonna question that banger of a song.
That's
okay?
right.
Like, it's technical.
Damn straight you are.
Yeah, but it just wasn't really the kind of thing I was looking for, and Sonic 06 gameplay-wise at least has a lot of interesting ideas that, especially now, are properly fleshed out. Like, as a game, it's going to be great to play Project 06, no question. The amount of work and effort is commendable,
and I respect what the modders have done. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I still hate that freaking game.
Understandable.
And I always will. Nothing about that will ever change. You can't change that. You can't. There's no amount of. You can't mod the past. You can't mod what it did to me, to other fans, to what it caused people to say to us for liking Sonic still.
Yes.
Because we were that game more than any other caused the entire gaming community to treat us like unspeakable garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you are not forgiven.
Understandable. I get that. And honestly, frickin' Prince of Persia Warrior Within is the same way for me. Because everyone and their mother who likes that frickin' game does not understand why I hate its guts. And it's because they're too dumb and edgy to realize that they took a wonderful game with so much attention to detail that was a huge passion project for all the developers and flushed it all down the toilet for stupid heavy metal, blood and guts, and sexualization.
I stand alone!
And it was just garbage. It was just a garbage video game. It really was. And it just crapped all over everything Sands of Time was. And even though it's not the exact same thing with Sonic 06, you know, it's a similar idea.
Superstar, Zachary just brought up Superstar. Superstars looks really fun. I'm very hopeful for that game.
I think it looks cool. I'm more concerned about apparently the developer involved in it.
Who's developing it?
I believe it's Arzes.
Who's that? What have they made?
They developed Balan Wonderworld!
Well, that's a bad thing.
That's deeply concerning. But to be fair, I think that Balan may have been more mismanaged than anything. Like, the actual... Like Balan isn't buggy, you know?
Yes.
And all they're trying to do here is make a classic Sonic game with nice visuals, with co-op. That's it. Like, I have faith that I think they can handle it, even because Balan was really nice looking, and Balan, didn't have bugs. Like, it was playable. It was just really boring. So
yeah, I am still generally concerned about it, but like the trailer didn't give me that much concern because I watched that trailer and it looks relatively solid.
So yeah, what did I just join into?
I'm streaming trains, and Kane and I are just chatting about gaming stuff.
So is this a no swear zone?
Don't you dare.
I will not.
Well, yeah, I'm stepping into the no swear zone.
God's sake. I can say that. God is in swear.
But yeah, like, it's one of those things where...
Wait, hold on. Let me say this. Because I got very little information from just coming in. You're saying this new Sonic Superstars game is being developed by the same people who made Balan?
Yes.
Yes.
Boy. Okay.
Well, I just went over this. Balan wasn't buggy, and it looked very nice. Like, its issue was mismanagement and the overall, like, the gameplay itself. It wasn't that nothing in it didn't work. It was that it just wasn't worth playing because it was dull.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to make a classic Sonic game with really nice visuals and co-op, and I'm based off of honestly, I'm glad to know they were the ones that made Balan because I know they can make a product that functions. It's
Exactly.
just Balan wound up not being worth playing.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I'm in no place to talk about, like, oh, well, they can't do this. Because I'm a huge fan of Terminator Resistance, and that game was made by the same people who made the fucking Rambo game. Sorry.
You did it again.
Sorry.
Also, Terminator Resistance, that was the 360 one, right?
No, that was a game that was made a couple years ago. It was a completely new story taking place in the future wars, and it was, by far, from what I've heard, the best Terminator game ever made.
Well, that's the one that I just described, pretty much.
And no, but it isn't it wasn't on the 360. It was on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Okay. I probably think of an earlier one. It coincided with the Salvation.
Yes.
Yeah, it would coincide with the movie. That game was a Gears of War's ripoff, but it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, no. It's not. This one isn't a Gears of War ripoff. It's a completely new thing. Like, it's not. By all means, it's not really a great game, but it is a great Terminator game. Is the best way that I would put it. So I am fully of the opinion that just because a developer made one bad game does not mean that they cannot make a good product.
I agree 100%. It's one of the things that bothers me about the way that people treat certain developers, where, like, as soon as they make one fumble, oh, the entire company's not worthwhile. Stop it. No. Bad.
Yeah, especially
Red Steel 1.
Especially
Red
when
Steel
I
1
feel like
is not
Balan's
very good.
strengths would really cater to the new Sonic game. Like,
Yeah.
like visually, it was stellar, and so
Yeah.
and Superstars looks like that, and the mechanics themselves, like, it was functional, it just wasn't fun. There's a big difference there, where it's like the game worked, it just wasn't worth it.
I think they misunderstood the saying putting the fun in functional.
I will also say that, in my personal opinion, that new game looks really fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited for a side-scrolling co-op Sonic game. I genuinely think it'll be fun.
I want to see more gameplay of it. I really want to see more. I can't wait, because I really want to see more gameplay of the co-op, especially.
No! Yes!
I think what bothers me the most about Balan, though, is, like, that was another one where
I think it's time to start teaselizing. Scrapping
still-
all these Steam engines. They must be destroyed. Sorry,
I
go
still
ahead.
think people were too hard on Balan.
Probably, but also it also really wasn't good, Kane, honestly. Like,
Oh, I agree. But here's my thing. Have you heard the stuff people say about it? Because it is Sonic 06 levels of bad that they are talking about it.
yeah, no, it's not that bad.
And it's not that bad. It is harmless at worst, guys. It's
think-
not.
Look at them in these
bad.
glorious diesels.
I do
Placing
think
the wretched Steam engines.
I do think ultimately the thing that made Balan Wonderworld worst for a lot of people was the simple fact that it had so many talented people behind it, and it just did not turn out to be a masterpiece like a lot of people were hoping.
People were expecting something like Nights into Dreams, and visually, yes, but gameplay-wise, it was not nearly that fun.
It also had Yuji Naka behind it, and, well, I mean...
He keeps going to jail!
But to say, if recent events tell you anything, I don't really think he had a part in anything, so...
He keeps doing the insider trading stuff! Stop it! It's illegal! You know that!
Can I talk about that for a hot second, too? Because that's another thing that's really been anger-inducing. Why do we keep getting spiritual successors that are nothing like what they're trying to be spiritual successors to?
I'm Mighty Number 9.
Do people not understand what we liked about those games? I'm not saying it has to be the exact same, but like, Mighty Number 9 was absolutely terrible. For one.
That's pretty bad.
Prince of Persia 2008 reboot was a way better spiritual successor to Prince of Persia than Mighty Number 9 was to Mega Man.
True story.
And like, I'm just sitting here thinking, one of the reasons no one liked Balan Wonderworld is because it didn't play anything like Knights. It didn't have the flying gameplay. Yeah, it had the dreamlike world, but then they made it a boring 3D platformer. And it was just stupid.
I think ultimately as well, when it comes to Balan Wonderworld, because like, here's the thing, I don't have that much experience with it, but like, I have never seen so many people really excited for one product only to be so disappointed since 2016 with both No Man's Sky and Mighty Number 9.
Think about Balan Wonderworld. It shouldn't have been a video game.
What should it have been?
It should have been a 3D animated series, maybe 12 or 20 episodes long with the assets that they made, and just make a proper story out of it. I think it would have been better received. I think it would have been a better way to introduce the idea of Balan, and then you can make a game with those assets later. I think that would.
At Christmas. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Because the other thing that really sucks is that, like, the music and visuals, as we both said, are very good. I still adore the theme song that they used for Balan. It's such a banger track. Yeah, and the novel is really good. People like the novel. The issue with the novel is that it should have been in the game.
Admittedly as well, I will say that I do think it really is a case of poor mismanagement. Ultimately, like, I'm with Josh on that, where it's like, it really is, like, just a case of, like, so many people coming together to try to make something, and it just it came
together in the wrong ways, because like even more of a hot take, why would you make a 3D platformer this day and age?
I mean, Mario Odyssey was beloved by everybody, so...
Okay, let me rephrase that.
Was it?
Why would you...
Why
would you...
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't think it was. I heard nothing about it after it came out. Not a thing.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Why would you compete with 3D platformers right now? Because the ones that are out are pretty good.
He's right.
Like,
True.
And like, if you're not up to that task, why would you take that task?
I think really the only 3D platformer not made by a AAA company that came out in recent years that people legitimately loved was A Hat in Time.
And that was like 5 or 6 years ago that came out.
Yeah, I think it was like summer of 2017, if memory serves.
Yeah, I still have no interest in A Hat in Time.
I love A Hat in Time. That's like one of my favorite games of 2017.
It just doesn't have the platformer vibe that I vibe with.
Oh,
You know,
God
I wonder
bless
what
America.
year this came out, because I have a platformer game that I like that was probably around 2017-ish.
I will beat this game. If it kills me.
Oh yeah, it is 2017. Skylar and Plux Adventure on Clover Island.
Oh, you're so mad about that.
I am.
So salty about Skylar and Plux.
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah, wait, I think I remember you talking about that back when it came out.
Well, the biggest issue with it now is you can't get it anymore.
Wait, really? What
It's
happened?
literally impossible.
Grip Digital, the stupid, worthless, awful, horrendous, awful publisher that needs to be taken down many pegs. I do not care. Screw all of you people. Removed it from the store page because, and I quote, it doesn't fit our vision.
Well,
So then did you give it back? No. Are you going to give it back?
No.
Then I hope your company shuts down permanently and you all lose your jobs.
Kane, you seem mad.
Very mad. And it has taken a lot for me to word that. I hope you know. Very
without cursing.
Very salty.
They
I have heard about it. I have heard that it's something, I think it's called like Skylar's Adventure. There's going to be like a reboot sequel game, by the way, just for anyone who missed that in the chat, for Josh and Teddy there. But yeah, like it's going to be getting a reboot, which is great. I'm happy about that. Which probably means another decade of development, while they can't sell the previous game that they made because the publishing studio is garbage. So I'm happy it's getting a sequel, but I'm sad that it like they can't sell their other. I would literally recommend it to both of the people in this chat right now.
I heard the game was okay. I read reviews were mixed, but based off of
really
what
liked
I know you like,
Oh my god.
I really liked it because it was something that wasn't necessarily meant to be like. I think that people are misunderstanding, like, you know, the general thing of the game. Like, I still think the way that a lot of people think is really, really stupid. A lot of people are really stupid about this because people go into indie games expecting 80-hour experiences and then get mad when they don't get it. And it's like, shut up. It's an indie game that was made by a small developer. Cut them a frickin' break. Yeah, it's $15 for the game, and then you get, I don't know, 5-10 hours out of it. That's fine. They're literally a brand new developer.
Kane, you seem mad again.
I'm very mad. Like, people have way too high of expectations. Like, I'm not saying the game is perfect. It had issues, and it had its weirdness. But you know what? It was a really fun, charming 3D platformer inspired by both Ratchet & Clank and Jak and Daxter, and I love that combination. It was very entertaining. I enjoyed my time. I 100%ed it, and I will happily 100% it more. I love that game. People just need to go in not expecting Rift Apart from an independent game. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, even still, there were people complaining about Rift Apart not having plant physics, so what are we gonna do then?
Yeah, because I know what worthless people's opinions look like.
Jesus.
Kane is on a tear today.
Kane
God.
on with the. He is alive with the hot takes right now. He's just like everyone around me can suffer.
Yo, if people are gonna complain about meaningless crap like that, dude, fine. The person who reviewed FF16. Do we even need to talk about that?
Yes, because I actually still don't know why people hated his review so much.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No, I didn't. I have no idea what you're talking about either.
Alright, TLDR, some guy was massively crapping on FF16 for being, too easy. You could play the game with one hand, just hitting the button and eating a burger, and they're eating the burger,
Oh.
And everyone on Twitter was so mad because not long after that, the post was added with context, and the context is this guy literally turned on all of the accessibility options to make the game easier.
Okay.
And he's using all of the rings that make the game easier too.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So he's like trying to look cool, and he just looks like an idiot.
Yeah, because okay, now I know what you're talking about. I saw that.
I
clip.
did not see this, but like, so, well, the game's too easy. Yeah, when you turn on all the easy mode. Like, okay, all right, hold on. Let me go play Ninja Gaiden on Ninja Dog mode. Like,
Yes.
like it's
okay,
too easy. Like,
yeah,
because it's easy mode. Of course, it's easy. You unspeakable moron.
Like, because here's the thing that I'll say about this. I will never shame somebody for playing on easy mode because I think that's stupid.
I hope
think
not, because you're friends
difficulty-
with Kane.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah, no, if you would have no, but here's the thing, like, okay, I'll never shame a person for playing on easy mode, because I think more people being able to play a game is awesome. But here's the thing, if you go onto, like, if you play something and you're like, oh, this game's too easy, and you have all of the accessibility options turned on, and then you complain it's too easy, dude, it's like, to me, that's like the equivalent of sticking your hand in a bear trap and then complaining that your hand hurts. Like, what the hell?
Are you streaming?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good, because I was going to come in and say something very offensive, and I was like, wait, Josh might be streaming.
I'm so glad you stopped yourself. I'm streaming on YouTube too, so.
Oh, even better. I wanted to say something intentionally vulgar to be hilarious, and I'm glad I stopped myself there.
I'm glad you did too. I don't need those kind of problems, Doc. You know, like.
You
What are you
got
playing,
enough.
by the way?
I'm playing Transport Fever 2.
Ooh.
Actually, he's playing Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Donna. He just didn't want to tell the truth.
By the way, Josh,
God, what'd I do? What do you want?
did you at some point want to play? Oh shit, what is it? It's not Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's the same people that made it.
Go on, take your time.
I can't remember what it's called now. No, I was watching it yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, this looks like something that'd be great to play," and then I've completely forgotten.
Brain fart.
It's very helpful, Doc. Thank you.
It's a transport and like business simulator game from like
Yep.
90s 2000.
Yep. I got that. I kind of assumed that, but that doesn't really help when I don't know what the game is called.
It's from the same developers as Roller Coaster Tycoon.
It's something very similar.
Like, is it a new game that's coming out?
No.
Okay. Because I sent Josh the trailer for Park Beyond.
Yes, and I was not super interested in that. Only because it's hard to get me to like a theme park builder, which is weird. It's not like it's not a
Open
management.
TTD.
What?
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
Open TTD.
I have that on Steam.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's Transport Tycoon.
Yes. I played it a little bit. I didn't get too into it though. It's definitely interesting.
But Open TTD is multiplayer, so we could play it, together.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of games, a lot of management sims I play that are multiplayer and nobody plays with me.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't actually know that. I'd love to play some. I love
Yeah,
management
the Railroad
games.
Empire games are multiplayer. I think Transport. I'm pretty sure Railroad Tycoon 2 is multiplayer.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Hey, Stellaris is now co-op.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They have a co-op mode in Stellaris. It's so exciting. I might have stayed up playing all night.
As one does.
That doesn't surprise me.
You know, it's one of those things where, like, this is what always happens with Stellaris, is like, I'm like, hey, you know what, I feel like playing it for a little bit, and then I end up playing it for, like, literally, like, 8 hours straight, and I'm like, yeah, this is a problem, I need to uninstall the game again.
Meanwhile, I got a nostalgia binge, and I'm playing something completely unrelated to everything we've talked about.
I played for apparently 13 and a half or 14 hours.
Dang.
But I know that's not quite right because I stepped away from my computer for a little bit.
And you
Yeah.
just left it on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I've done that before.
for about probably 3 or 4 hours, so probably about 10 hours last night. I played just straight Stellaris.
I'm playing Super Castlevania 4.
Nice.
Boy.
Talked about Castlevania with a friend earlier, and I'm like, God, now I want to play these games, and I own the collection, so hey, why not?
There
I've
she
really
is,
wanted-
Nickel Plate Road 765.
Heck yeah. I've been really wanting to go back and play through the future games again for Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. I don't know why I've just been into Castlevania. I think it's because I watched the Nerds, like, retrospective of Castlevania a couple of times over the past couple of days, and I've just been into Castlevania.
Yeah, unlike that crappy Darkness the Curse guy's Castlevania video. So bad.
Josh, I literally gave you the Castlevania collection so you could review that.
That doesn't answer the. That doesn't mean you watched the review.
I did watch it. I literally... Josh.
Hey, I just watched the Nintendo Direct, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, there was a new Nintendo Direct.
What did anything that I would be interested in?
Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars remake.
Not interested.
A new
There was
2D Mario game.
Not interested.
Not interested. Nothing that you'd be interested in, I think. What I am excited for is the Metal Gear Solid collection got announced.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, for Switch.
I knew about that
Yeah.
already, and that's pretty.
And yeah, and I know it's coming out for Switch, but it's also coming out for PC, and I'm ecstatic.
Oh,
Same thing
good.
with Xbox, and I'm ecstatic for that because now I can actually play MGS and
Oh.
you know.
I thought there was another one recently, but you guys are talking about the one from the 21st, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one interesting thing for me, and it was ruined by the art.
What?
2 looks terrible.
Oh yeah.
What?
The Star Ocean 2 remake.
What? You think it looks terrible?
I hate it.
Oh my god, it looked beautiful.
I can't stand it.
Oh, you're nuts.
No, I hate it. I can't stand it. I would have rather just had a straight enhanced port of the PSP version like we got for First Departure.
In
The
the words of Short Round from Temple of Doom, he's not nuts. He's crazy.
The one good thing that they did for it though that I do still plan to buy it and play it a little bit is the enhancements to the combat system are so needed for the first 2 Star Ocean games.
What's wrong with the art?
It is such a ridiculous clash in style, and I can't stay. It looks, you know what it looks like? It looks like those fan-made Unreal Engine 4 remakes of old games, where it is just a humongous shift in inconsistency, and I hate it. It doesn't look good to me. Also, the sprites look way too bright, which is a weird thing to complain about, but like they completely oversaturated the entire experience, which was one of my issues with Wind Waker HD.
That one I'm not going to argue against because I don't have a frame for a reference for it.
I really the only thing that like got me to say like, oh, okay, was the fact that they're porting Dark Moon to Switch, which is something I've actually really been pining for, because Dark Moon is a fantastic game, and I was really upset for the longest time that it was still stuck on the 3DS. And they're like, "Hey, we're making an enhanced port for the Switch," and I'm like, "Yes!"
I don't know what that is.
Luigi's Mansion 2.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the 3DS game. It's one of my favorite games ever. It is such a charming and character-filled game, and I love it to death. And I played it to death back when I was still in school, and I'm like, yes, it's coming to Switch.
You know,
the
you
only
could
problem
still
was,
be in school if you went to college.
and you
Who
could
needs
still
college?
be. Yeah.
You could still be in school, Josh.
One of
You
us.
need college when you have
What?
the
What?
internet.
What did you just say?
Woo!
I missed it.
It is shockingly hard to just find a normal screenshot.
But yeah, no, it was I was really happy about that. The only problem was it was like the only like thing that got announced at the Nintendo Direct that is coming next year, and I'm like, like old man waves fists at sky moment, you know? Because I'm like, what?
Also, the Peach game.
Yeah, I was actually really happy about that because I don't think Peach has had a standalone game since the DS, if I remember correctly.
There was Super Princess Peach. That's the only one I know.
Yes. Yeah, that's the only one that I can think of too. Like, she's been playable in stuff like Super Mario Brothers 2, or I'm sorry, Doki Doki Panic Reskin, and Super Mario 3D World, and I think she was also in the new Super Mario Brothers games. Correct me
Actually,
if I'm wrong about that.
Peach has always been just in distress. She's never been, a strong character. That's not who she is, and I know this because I'm very smart.
No, stop. In the words of Filthy Frank, it's time to stop!
You're not funny.
It's time to stop, okay?
If you're gonna yell, I think you should yell a little bit farther away from your mic.
Yeah.
That's why I started to back up.
See, if you back up in the middle of it. Why don't you just make that channel about paranormal about paranormal stuff? I guarantee you'll actually see more success than what you're doing now, which is nothing. I'm not trying to come down on you. I'm legitimately trying to give you genuine advice here, Ted.
Hello?
No,
Hello?
I think it's great.
Hello?
Oh,
He
and
didn't
he's
even
actually
hear
dead.
me, of course.
No, I did because okay. I don't know what's up with my cords, but when I back my mic away from my face, it like just shuts itself off.
Yeah, that's usually what happens when people back away
Like-
from your face.
Wow, okay. Why don't you go to college, Josh?
He
See,
did.
it's not. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a burn for me. I'm the only one here who has a degree. So,
Go back to college! Get another degree! I don't know. Oh. Shit. Put device. There we go. Okay. That's better. See, that's the thing as well. Like, it completely like messes up my audio settings. It's like. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try and find like Duck, if you're curious, try and just find some video of the PSP version, and like that'll show you what I mean. The other thing that I can show a bit easier, something that I very much fucking that I absolutely hate about
damn
the
it,
remake.
Kane.
I
Hey,
hate the
No
remake,
swearing.
is I
Don't
can't
say swears.
second evolution are back. No, not videos. Dang it. I just want a screenshot. I hate the UI. I hate the new UI.
Hi everyone, we're here with Kane Oblivion, and he hates everything.
You do not understand, Josh.
I probably don't.
I hate the UI. I'm gonna send you both in. I'm gonna send you both of them in DM so you can see what I mean, because like I hate it. I much prefer the old UI.
Yeah, much smaller and cleaner. How dare they?
Yeah, I can't read it.
That is a pretty major problem, Duck.
Yeah, that is a problem.
That is a major problem.
And it's not even cleaner. It looks worse.
What do you mean it looks worse? It doesn't take up 40% of the screen.
And the 40% of the screen it takes up isn't actually needed in combat. You need to look behind you when enemies are behind you in combat, and that literally covers up the battle. The other one doesn't cover up any of the actual action, and it's way easier to read.
I like Castlevania.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also,
Also.
getting a screenshot.
Castlevania 4 is one of the best games on the Super Nintendo.
Ted, shut up.
Okay, thank you for the.
First you say thank you, and then you tell me to shut up.
Make
Make up your mind.
It was a pretty sarcastic thank you.
Okay, well, I can't detect sarcasm. Forgive me.
This is the UI, and honestly, I actually take more issues with this UI than I do the one from the PSP one, Duck, because this one is hard to read because it's 7 characters all spread out across the entire screen. But that's not how they did it in the original. It was 4 characters. It was easier to read in that regard. But at least this one still looks like it's from a Star Ocean game with it having its identity intact. The new one just looks like standard McLife Bar.
Old McLife Bar had a bar, E-I-E-I-O.
Shut up, Ted.
No.
Like, literally the only difference is they made the health bar smaller and didn't have it overlap with the numbers, so the numbers are easier to read.
I mean, first and foremost, you still had plenty of room to rearrange these to have both the numbers and the bars visible in the same style. We have bigger resolutions for a reason. We're not limited by 640 by 480 anymore. But that also doesn't mean
that's why they opened up more of the screen.
And they could have left the health bars at the top. At the very least, in one of the corners. Not in the middle of the screen. Like you're talking about how it's smaller and cleaner, and I urge you, Duck, to look at the screenshot from Second Evolution R. The life bars are literally covering a character in their entirety.
You guys gonna fight?
And what is that character doing over there? They're not the focus, Kane.
Yeah, and you know what? In the older games, that doesn't matter, because the life bars are at the top.
It does, because it cut off half the top of the screen.
The top of the screen wasn't really used. That was the point.
God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Ted. So why did I do that? That makes no sense.
The top part of the screen isn't even used in this one either.
What did you do that you don't know why you did?
I made a I basically combined 2 pieces of track when there's an open station platform next to them that I could just link the track to. It was a really dumb thing for me to do. Anyway, I fixed it. It was easy. It was an easy fix. It was just like, why did I do that? What possible reasoning did I have?
train expert messing up something about trains.
Yeah, I know. I need to just delete my entire YouTube channel now.
Yeah, go focus on Sonic games again.
Jeez! Oh my god! Kane!
I mean, it's not the first time I've heard that. I think the bigger issue is that I've kind of run out of Sonic games to discuss.
No, you haven't.
There's a new one coming out.
Yeah, I know.
And then you'll review it and instantly be out again.
Exactly. That's the
I
problem. Like, there's only so much I can discuss before it's like, what else is there to talk about?
And
And
even
then-
as somebody who's not into trains, I can tell you, there's a lot of trains to talk about.
Yeah, and I don't just talk about trains.
And yeah,
Some of my more videos with more views actually have nothing to do with railroads.
If I may,
No. You may not. I don't know what you're about to say, but you may not.
you need to find the computer room still.
Can I eat your tacos?
I'm assuming this is a Sonic joke that I'm missing.
It's a
Yes.
reference to Shadow the Hedgehog. Technically, I did review it like over a decade ago.
I mean, but how many times can you re-review these games?
I mean,
he's
if you're
re-reviewed
Sonic 06,
06 like 50 times.
5. The answer is 5.
And then,
Yes, but that alone is insufficient.
God. And then I think you
Oh
reviewed...
yeah, that one was that one
You
worked.
got that one. Yeah, that one.
I think you reviewed Sonic Blast at least twice.
I did do it twice.
Because the original review is gone. Sonic R was like, how many times now?
3 times.
You also obviously didn't review. Oh God, what was the? I'm forgetting its name. What was the racing game on the Game Gear?
Oh, Sonic Drift.
Drift. Thank you.
I did cover Drift.
Not the Japanese exclusive one.
Yes, I did.
Oh my god.
Nah, I'm kidding. I remember. I can't remember. Which video was that in? Did you specifically?
That was in the
cover
one where I
Drift?
covered literally all the Sonic Game Gear games. All of them!
Gotcha. So that was the one for that, because I remember you did a couple of compilations, but it's been a while since I've watched them, so I couldn't remember which way you handled them.
And you call yourself a Darkness the Curse fan.
I mean, I am.
Oh, yeah, I never did review the All-Stars racing games, did I?
Nope.
No.
And I think that you're gonna need a couple of friends
That's-
to get the proper experience.
Actually
Why
surprising,
does
you know.
Sonic need a car? He's the fastest thing in the world! And the universe! And the metaverse!
Apparently somebody needs something.
And the everything!
He doesn't need anything. He's just yelling about Sonic driving a car. Because the race wouldn't be fair, Jack.
Because he's still your son, of course.
License!
He's becoming more and more like teenage me, and it's becoming very alarming.
Your driver's license!
Oh, I could have told you that. I could have told you that from you know,
Fortnite
my yeah, from when we all played together.
That was
I don't-
that was an experience. I'll tell you that.
you know, no offense, Josh, but never have I noticed that he was definitely your son more than that night.
Yeah, that was absolutely when I was like, oh my god.
Wait, what night?
The night we all played Fortnite together
Oh.
with Jack.
Yeah.
Oh no. Ghosts! Be gone, evil spirits.
Ooh, an EMD GP7. Oh no, the British Rail fell, Diesel.
BAM! Like BAM!
You tell him, son.
Oh lord.
British railroads are the worst railroads.
What's so funny?
You didn't hear him. That's probably.
No, what did
for
he
the-
say?
He's in the background for no reason. He just says British railroads are the worst railroads.
Probably because he's around you.
I don't even say that.
He might.
Oh, clearly he picked it up from somewhere.
I
Josh.
obviously.
Your son is the biggest fan of history in the dark.
Tires in this game. People have been eating tires all over the place.
People have been leaving tires all over the place, is that what he said?
Yes, that is what he said.
Or why they're leaving tires all over the place.
I don't. What are you playing, bud?
Fortnite.
He's playing
He's on
Fortnite.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know he's on Fortnite.
They must be getting pretty tired of that.
Da 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 da.
Thank you, Kane. Or actually, no, a better one. They must be getting wheelie tired of that.
Haha.
That one was worse.
You're worse.
Stop sending down airstrikes!
Oh boy.
I think the other reason why Second Evolution are, as a side note, hurts even worse too is just because I really have not been impressed with the Divine Force.
I played the demo for like 2 minutes and I gave up. I do not like the way that game feels.
It's been stripped of all of its identity.
You know what I would have legitimately liked more, and this is me being serious, I would have loved it if they had ported Integrity and Faithlessness to the Xbox or Switch.
I would love that. I still love Integrity and Faithlessness. That was like the last Star Ocean game that felt like a real Star Ocean game.
Oh.
It actually had that kind of charm that I wanted out of a Star Ocean game.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Kane, I actually have something to talk about when it comes to Star Ocean that I completely forgot to mention the other day.
Go for it.
My boss hates that game.
Which one?
Integrity and Faithlessness.
Gotcha.
Because I saw it on our shelf and I was talking about it and she was like, oh god, that game's terrible. And I'm like, you don't like it? I love it. And she's like, yeah, no, I hate it. And I'm like, aw.
Why?
I don't remember. I think she said she just didn't like the way the game felt either, which is kind of weird. But
I mean, that's fine. I get that. Like, that in itself is fine. But, like, the biggest stupid thing that I ever hear about that game is, oh, it's short.
I think the reason she said she didn't like it was because it's not like it didn't feel like the older Star Ocean games to her or something.
What I love
along those
about
lines.
this, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but what I love about the modded in Fell Diesel is that the modder chose to give it the grimiest, darkest, blackest smoke imaginable. So it
Is
just
that accurate?
probably, but it just it's even darker than like the exhaust from the steam engines in the game. So it just looks like it's just like it's being driven by a Captain Planet villain, just like.
Way to go, Ted. Way to go, Ted Turner.
Witness the power of carbons!
Darkness is a trade true.
Of the really hard to get to hammer that I don't even think you can get in Battle Royale!
But yeah, like, I get that. Like, actually, honestly, as much as I like Integrity and Faithlessness, one of the things I think is a weakness for the game is kind of the chaotic nature of it.
Also,
Which is
like-
funny because I like the chaotic nature of it. But
Well,
that's just
the issue being is that there's 7 party members on screen at once. It's a bit crazy.
yeah, but that never really like. Okay then. That never really impacted my like ability to enjoy the game, I guess. But I can see how that can be an issue for other people, but for me it was never that big a deal.
I don't like it because
Hey Jack,
What?
Jack, can you stop screaming or go into your room if you're gonna do that, please? Thank you, bud.
I didn't like it because it just kind of got too much, and it was hard to like actually focus on trying to heal and do stuff like that.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, like it was just something that I do think was ultimately a problem with the game. But also not feeling like the old games. Oh, I would hate to hear her opinion on the Divine Force.
I didn't ask her about the Divine Force, but then again, I
do not like the Divine Force right now.
He does not like the Divine Force. He does not like it, Kane. He is.
Maybe I'll like it in the future, but I don't like action RPGs that limit the action. Stop giving me arbitrary arbitrary waiting periods behind when I can swing my sword.
That is ultimately what kind of killed it, because I was like, it didn't feel good to play is my main issue.
Like honestly, it's one of the reasons I didn't like Tales of Graces. Because, just like...
Hey!
No hate to it, but it changed the gameplay drastically to the point where it just stopped you from using your normal attacks and you had to wait for it to recharge. It was such an arbitrary system. I didn't like it. Like, the reason I like the older Tales games is because it kind of felt more like a fighting game, ironically, that you could, like, string together different combos with your arts, and it just let you do it. You could mash away if you wanted, or you could be very strategic with how you actually incorporated your arts into your combos. It was a really cool system in the older games. Or at least anything.
Steam engine! There will be no more Hudsons on New York Central, boys!
By the way, speaking of fighting games for a second, can I talk about how crazy some people have been getting with the Street Fighter 6 character creator?
I have seen some, unfortunate creations.
Such as?
This has been happening since before Street Fighter 6.
Why do I have to give you an example? You brought it up.
Because I don't know what you've seen, Josh. I don't have your brain.
Yes, you do.
Also, I don't know why it's surprising. Everybody saw what happened during the demo that they had, and
yeah,
I didn't see anything from the demo beyond.
Literally the same exact thing was happening the entire time when the demo was out.
Yep.
Yeah, every time I see it, it's like a glowing thing that's just this mass and wearing a bikini for no reason. Like, it's a little disturbing, actually.
And it's such an old trend too, just to make the most cursed character you can on character creators. I think there's an entire subreddit dedicated to it.
See, the only reason why it's so interesting for the Street Fighter one is that the characters actually play differently based on how they look. And yeah, also, Teddy, clearly you never played any of the Soul Calibur games in the past, like, several years.
Yep.
I saw Charlie playing Soul Calibur 6 back when it was around. People making, like, Mr. Krabs.
Charlie?
Moist Critical. Penguin Zero.
Yeah. He's fine.
I haven't messed much with the character creators, especially in 4 and 5, because I just don't think they're very good. At least, like, if you want to actually make something you like, because due to the fact that the all of the equipment has, like, stats attached to it, it's like you just use the best equipment then.
It's one of those, like, Dark Souls fashion things where you go for, like, a character that looks, like, ridiculously weird, but also the armor, like, drastically limits what you're doing.
Pro ZD, when you pick the armor for the stats.
Exactly.
But yeah, like, I never messed with it because of that. It just wasn't my thing. Also because I just don't really like fighting games, so.
That is fair. Hey Josh, you want to play Soul Calibur 6?
The one I hated was 4.
Yes. if you're going to play any modern Soul Calibur game, Josh, I will say 6 has had the best reputation out of the last 3.
Honestly, like, I will say that in terms of Soul Calibur, the one thing that I was kind of disappointed by when Soul Calibur 6 came out was that when they announced that characters like, I'm blanking here, Geralt and 2B were going to be added to the game, it just kind of made me want to go play Witcher 3 and Nier Automata again.
I have a favorite Soul
That's
Calibur
kind of the
game.
point.
Well, no, but it's like, I didn't want to play as them in that game, I just
Yeah.
wanted to go play their own games again.
Well,
'Cause
they
I
had Link in I think 3.
Two, yeah.
That was 2. Okay.
Yeah.
3 was
Yeah.
PS2 exclusive.
Yeah. Link was the GameCube exclusive. Spawn was the Xbox, and Heihachi was the PlayStation exclusive.
Spawn was in a Soul Calibur game?
Yes.
Yes,
Soul
I'm
Calibur
pretty sure Kratos was in one of them too.
Yep. I believe he was in 3.
The only other one that I remember offhand was, I think, Yoda in either Soul Calibur 4 or 5.
4.
4.
Yeah. And apparently he was broken as sin because he's small. It's like the odd job thing from GoldenEye all over again.
Yeah. I mostly played 2 when that, you know, when the games were out, but that was because playing as Link, and also I played the story mode a lot.
Yeah.
I have a favorite Soul Calibur game.
That
No one's gonna believe me.
That being?
3.
I want all of you to take an honest guess as to what my favorite Soul Calibur game is.
Soul... What was it called before? Like...
Apparently I'm muted.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So Duck has said 3.
What was it called before? Was it called like Soul Edge before or something?
Soul
Edge.
Yeah, say if you say Soul Edge, you're wrong. That's okay though.
I don't remember what it was called before.
Soul Edge was the name of the sword and the name of the game in Japan originally. They had to change to Soul Blade when it came to America due to a trademark issue.
Gotcha.
And then after that, they just changed to Soul Calibur to avoid the name switching in general.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say that one.
All right. And Josh, what do you think is my favorite Soul Calibur game?
As long as you don't say 4, I won't hate you for it.
All right. Y'all sitting down? Soul Calibur Legends.
Never heard of that one.
Yep. And you lost me.
It is a Nintendo Wii exclusive game, and it is a 3D action hack and slash.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that actually
Yeah.
does. I'd be down to play that.
I wish I knew about this. What?
It's not like Muso. It's more. It's a lot smaller than that. But yeah, like it's a neat game, but it is a bit of a waggle fest. It's got some awkward controls, but
That's a
I
Wii
really
game.
like
I'm not.
Not entirely shocked by that revelation.
I'm about to say, like, I kind of expect Wii games at this point that, like, use swords.
Wiggly,
with waggle
waggly,
vests.
woo!
I love that game. I love that game. It's fun. It's not a good Soul Calibur game by any means, but I just find it enjoyable and charming in its own spin-offy right.
Yeah. By the way, Josh, speaking of wiggle waggle, odd bit of an odd thing that I remember. Didn't you say that, like, Sonic and the Black Knight at one point, like, you were swinging the sword around so much that it gave you wrist cramps?
It did start hurting after a while.
Alright.
It'd be like saying your favorite Mortal Kombat game is Shaolin Monks. Like,
I played that too.
I mean, and also to be fair on that one, Duck, the amount of people pining for a Shaolin Monks sequel or remake is actually higher than I expected.
well, I mean, yeah, but also it's dumb.
I mean, it can't be any worse than Mortal Kombat Special Forces.
You're right. It's impossible to be anything worse than that game.
I know nothing about that game other than the fact that it's apparently terrible.
Yeah.
That it is. I own it.
Is it as bad as people say it is?
No,
Worse.
it's worse. Yeah, it definitely
It's
worse.
Is it? It's worse. Wow. Okay.
Absolutely.
You know,
pretty-
other Mortal Kombat.
it's pretty freaking bad.
bad.
However
What?
bad you think it is worse.
What game, Kane?
Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Sub-Zero
Mortal Kombat
is
Mythologies.
absolute trash.
I do like how one of the only reasons that Shaolin monks existed is because they were originally trying to create a whole Mortal Kombat Mythologies series, but because Sub-Zero tanked so badly, they just gave up on it and they made.
I feel like they could have honestly made Sub-Zero work. They just had to not treat it like a fighting game.
I think the other problem kind of comes down to the simple fact of, from what I hear, the game was kind of like an early version, example of game developers just being literal trolls.
I don't know about
They
that.
designed it to be hard, but not in the fun way. But I don't think. I think the issue was less them intentionally doing that, and more that the fact that the game controlled absolute just junk, it was impossible.
And it just controlled they attempted to take the normal Mortal Kombat controls into an adventure game, and that was such a bad idea.
Yeah, that was not going to work.
The only reason them's fighting herds gets away with it is because it's a modern game.
Also, for the fact that for the open world exploration bits of
It's
them
completely
fighting
different in
herds-
the open world.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah, it's
control
completely
that
different.
way.
But when you try to make a 2D when you try to make an adventure game based off of Mortal Kombat's control scheme, that doesn't. You're gonna have a bad time. If you try to make an adventure game like that, you're gonna have a bad time. No, but in all seriousness, I would like to see them try that again at some point, because really it just kind of comes down to I don't really think with the way that Mortal Kombat's gameplay worked at the time, that it was something that was easy to do, you know?
I think Mortal Kombat could easily have a lore spin-off series if they did it well enough. I really think it would be we already have. I think to be fair, we already kind of have that with all the movies and stuff.
Yeah, and the big, story modes in the new games.
That is fair.
Yeah, but the story modes are very hit and miss, mostly miss. For people,
What?
a lot of people have a lot of big issues with major story points from I think it was 11 with Chronica.
Yes.
A lot of people hate Chronica.
Well, that's why they're rebooting it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wishing them the best because they've had a lot of misses as of late.
Also, Chronica was just kind of I know she was the main villain, but I honestly feel like she was more of a side character in her own villain story.
Yeah.
Wasn't Shang Tsung more of a threat, if I remember correctly?
Shang Tsung is always doing something that he should not be doing.
And well, especially when they did the DLC stuff, yeah, he became the main player because they also got what's his name back.
Oh, the dude who
Yeah,
the dude who voiced him in the
movie.
or voiced him, who played him in the movie. Yeah.
yeah.
Yo, that dude owns that role though.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
It's fantastic. I love. I can never remember his name, and I feel bad about that. But oh god, I love him. I love him so much.
I have a Mortal Kombat lore question because I can never keep these names straight. Who are the two big named baddies in Mortal Kombat? Because there's Shang Tsung and then
Shao
who's the other
Kahn.
one?
Shao
Shao
Kahn.
There's a whole host of different characters. That's also probably why you get them all confused.
Yeah.
That is true. Shao Kahn and Quan Chi are the the other two I was thinking of.
And don't forget Shinnok.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
well.
Shinnok.
Everyone else does.
Yeah, there's a
I-
reason
okay.
for that.
In my defense, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, the dude who apparently is like obsessed with horror movies because he's the only dude in Mortal Kombat X, I believe, to actually call like the Xenomorph, the Predator, Jason, and Leatherface by their own names. Everybody else just makes comments about how disgusting they are, but he's like the Xenomorph.
Also, Spawn is in Mortal Kombat and is probably one of the best characters.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know. I'm
No,
so
I-
glad they handled Spawn well. I love Spawn. Because of course I do.
Man.
Well-
Keith David, he can never go wrong voicing that character.
Well, yeah, I mean, after the animated series, of course.
Yeah, but I love how like each of his match intros are pretty much just I'm tired of this, get out of my way or I'm gonna kill you.
That's Spawn.
That's Spawn.
Yeah, I know, but it's awesome. But it's awesome to see him do it against everybody in the universe, you know.
And that's not even the best part about his character. The best part about his character is how like matter of fact about everything he is, and also calls people out on their BS all the time.
Yeah, like Shao Kahn's just a puppet.
No, like friggin' Kotal Khan, he
Oh,
calls
yeah.
out repeatedly.
Oh yeah, where he's like you massacred entire tribes. Like basically just calling him out on like how much of a
Tyrant he was.
He's a total hypocrite. He's like I'm better. Like you're better than Shao Kahn. That's not that's
low
a
bar.
really low bar, man.
Congratulations, you are not as bad a dictator as Hitler. That's the one where I think the Hitler comparison is pretty apt too.
Yeah, I mean that's about right.
But I also like it as well, like how I guess this isn't so much like a Spawn thing as it is a Rambo thing, but like he points out how like actively like Rambo has like a very clouded soul, and how like at one point he even says you have more blood on your hands than I do, and I'm like, but you're literally a hell spawn.
Yeah, but it's Rambo.
True.
Uh,
I think he also said at one like Rambo called Spawn out and he's like so you were a soldier, and then he's like I still am, I just wear different colors, and he's like the wrong ones you mean. Rambo in general also I actually felt was handled really well.
Say, do we also just like do most people kind of forget about First Blood when they think about Rambo?
Kind of, yeah, because it was
Because he's just killing cops.
Well, he's not. He's not. He killed one cop in that movie basically by accident because he was trying to kill him. It was completely self-defense.
that was the helicopter, right?
Yeah, he fell from a height. It was his fault.
Yeah.
And then maybe as well like those two dudes he pushed into.
I don't forget
barrels
about
on the side
First
of the
Blood. That's
road.
the best Rambo movie as far as I'm concerned.
It literally is, because like the thing that I hate about like the more modern Rambo movies is they forget that the original wasn't really so much of an action movie as it was a character drama, and it was great. It was amazing. Like there's very little death in the movie at all, but like everybody nowadays just remembers Rambo as like this shirtless dude or like wearing like the black tank top, like running around with explosive bows and an M60, and I'm like.
I mean, he does
The
do
original
that.
movie, like he does, but like the original movie, like had a lot of substance that made it more than just a generic action movie. Like there's, like I said, there's very little action in it.
I have no
It's-
input.
I don't expect you to, Kane, because you watching a Rambo movie is it's basically like me getting into.
To be
any other
honest, the
stuff.
first Rambo wasn't that gory.
It wasn't. Like there was blood here and there, but like most of it just was realistic depictions of what would happen to somebody if they were in that situation. You fall down a big cliffside and you scrape open your arm on a tree branch because you're going really fast. Like, yeah, that's gonna hurt, and that's gonna leave a pretty sizable wound. You fall out of a helicopter, yeah,
No,
a lot of blood.
I'm perfectly fine every time I fall out of helicopters. I make sure to land in a pool.
Oh, so what is this, like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger when he jumps off the plane in Commando, lands in water, and is, like, completely fine?
Yeah.
Actually, it's Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah, that
Kane!
He's got a point.
I mean, he does. It's just the fact that he has a point that annoys me. But like, that is the thing that I like, because it's like the Die Hard thing, where like the first movie was pretty realistic for the most part, and they just kept making things more ludicrous and like, okay, I can't take this seriously. And that's kind of like how I feel with Rambo, where like the first movie was a pretty realistic thing, and like I'll even give Rambo 2 some credit. Like,
Rambo 2 was pretty good too.
know,
3 was the one where they went off kilter. 4 I thought was great.
I still need to watch that one. 'Cause
4
from
was
what I've heard,
brutal, but it was down to earth, and 5 I think just wasn't needed, but it was still. I did enjoy 5. I think it's overhated. But I also kind of get it, where people were like, this didn't need to exist.
Somehow both overrated and overhated.
Yeah.
The one thing I've heard about 5 is that it's a kind of big stretch of not a lot happening, and then like the last portion of the movie is basically very violent Home Alone with Sylvester Stallone.
I would like to answer this question real quick. No,
Yes.
I haven't. No, I haven't. Probably won't. No real interest.
What was the question?
Zachary asked if I've seen Team America.
Oh. I saw it
America.
once years ago. I really don't care for it.
Is that
About
like
what?
that?
Team America, World Police.
Is that like that like action movie where like everybody's like a doll or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, that actually is the one thing that's keeping me from watching it. I don't like the aesthetic. I you know.
It's a comedy movie.
I do get that, but like I don't know, something about that like turns me away. When it comes to like that kind of, you know, puppetry being used, like there's very few instances where I'm like, yes, I am in on that.
It's not supposed to be like this is a great art form. It's intentionally in every way done to be as cheap and shitty as possible.
Oh no, like I get that. I do get that.
That's the joke.
I do, but like I don't know. There's something about it just.
I feel like if you did, you wouldn't be arguing against it.
Maybe I'll give it a try at some point. Just it's not like on my bucket list, if that makes any sense.
I mean, yeah, same here. I just don't really have any interest.
I
would rather watch the Zelda cartoon again.
I will say there was one scene that kind of got to me, because it made me laugh for how, like, again, like how you were describing how like it's supposed to be like really like low budget, where it was, I don't know the context, but it's like some terrorist in the middle of the street like shooting up a bunch of like shooting the windows out of a bunch of buildings, and then this one woman who's dressed like Barbie steps up behind him and is like, terrorize this, and then shoots him with a shotgun, and he just like crashes through the window of like a bakery or something, and that made me laugh so hard because it just reminded me of dumb
It's like
ragdoll
literally
bits.
like the intro scene. It's like
Yeah, that made me laugh so hard because like it just reminded me of dumb ragdoll deaths in video games, and those always get to me because I find them hilarious for some weird reason.
wait till you see the sex scene.
Oh god, no.
How kids
Oh, Lord. I'm trying to think of like, because like the only reason I saw that scene, by the way, is because there's a YouTube video on somewhere called like the 100 greatest one-liners before the kill, and that was on there. Most of it was stuff like from, you know, Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, because, you know, they're kind of the kids of doing that. Stuff like, oh, there goes Duck. Stuff like, you know, like I solely remember when I promised to kill you last? I lied, like, you know. Anyway, Josh, how's the train going?
Great. You guys are just whatever you're doing.
Kane.
Sup?
Do you like, do you like,
Kane doesn't like
anything?
anything, you know that.
Right, how could I forget? Do you like any of the action franchises that I've mentioned?
No.
That was a dumb question.
Oh, great. What about you, Josh?
I mean, name them.
Die Hard, Rambo, no, obviously not Rambo, but like Die Hard, any like Schwarzenegger movie at all?
I mean, there's probably something I've seen in there, but I've never really, like, seen many of them, if any at all. I watched Terminator at one point, and I don't remember anything from any of the movies that I watched.
Do you like Commando?
I like the memes.
Okay, fair.
I also like the memes. I've never seen Commando either.
I have seen it, and it's dumb. It's really, really dumb, but it is so ridiculously entertaining. It's like it's basically like Independence Day, where it's so dumb, but like you cannot stop watching.
Oh,
I
you
think
can
Lost
stop watching.
Crown.
I can stop watching. I'll stop watching right now. Kane got it.
I think Lost Crown looks fine, but I'm worried about it because they, like, really still feels like they're diving off the deep end with character design, and I think that they should just do something safe instead of trying something new and experimentative. Like, people have been mad at the Prince of Persia series ever since the reboot, especially, and I've been mad at it before that. So, like, I don't think we should be going for anything new.
But we didn't expect this. But they didn't expect me.
Yeah,
I was
like,
expecting not to expect something.
Cue gangster rap.
you should do something that's familiar and not new, because then you're just gonna alienate more people. Like, a lot of the things with the new Prince of Persia game look okay gameplay wise, but I'm not sure about story or things like that. We'll see how it goes. I'm open-minded to it. I'm excited to see the return to 2D. I think that Prince of Persia has not shown maybe as much love as the old 2D games should have, considering that that's the origins. So I'm glad to see a return, but
But Kane,
I'm hopeful.
But Kane,
Can I?
they didn't expect him.
Dare I say is
I stand alone inside. I stand alone.
my fucking ears.
Suffer. Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, you were doing that same thing earlier.
Yeah.
I know, but I stopped. Anyway, so with Prince of Persia and this new game, I almost wonder if it's a case of like they might be releasing it to sort of like tide people over until, you know,
The Sands of Time remake. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sands of Time remake. Not that I'm saying like this new game looks bad or anything. It's just, you know, Sands of Time is arguably the most famous game in the entire Prince of Persia series. So
It's the Samus Returns of Prince of Persia.
What?
That's a 3DS remake of Metroid 2, and it wasn't very good.
No, I'm talking about like Sands of Time in particular. Like, it's like
Teddy, I'm saying that game was a tide over until Dread.
yes. Okay, now I get what you're saying. That took me a second. I'm sorry. No, but no, I do get what you're saying now. God,
Do you?
Why do? Yeah. Yes, I do.
So yeah, like I'm hopeful for it because I think we got enough where, at worst, this game is going to be okay, and I will take okay over whatever Warrior Within 2 Thrones ever were.
I'm definitely like cautiously optimistic about it because I think one of the cool things about the Prince of Persia games is the whole idea that, excuse me, the multiple, the multiple different playstyles, like the 2D playstyle and like the 3D playstyle do lend to different ways to expand upon both.
Yeah, and like the 2D games were never really that. It's actually even more offensive than that because they did have other 2D games when it came to Prince of Persia, except most of them weren't very good. Most of them were literally just bad. They were poorly made tie-in games to the main console games was the issue. Almost all the handheld games were 2D side-scrollers, and only a couple of them were semi-okay.
I do think, as well, that when it comes to...
There actually, as a side note, there actually is a really good remake of the original Prince of Persia out there. Did anyone know that?
Isn't that the one that was, like, released exclusively from, like, the Dreamcast or something?
No.
Okay.
The original Prince of Persia was remade, and I don't know if you can do this on regular Android or iOS, but it was actually released on the Amazon App Store.
Huh?
Yeah, in fact, I actually wonder if I can find it. Amazon of Persia app. See if I can find this.
That's interesting to think about, I guess.
Yeah, it was a mobile Android Prince of Persia remake. Gameplay for Android and iOS. Here we go. Oh, wait. That's probably...
Here's one other thing that I actually meant to ask you about, Josh. What are your thoughts so far on what you've seen from Alan Wake 2?
I have no opinion.
Fair point. Are you waiting till it comes out to judge?
I don't want to see anything.
Will do.
Not because of spoilers, but because I hate everyone who talks about it, and I know it's a stupid issue to have. And I'm not coming down on you in particular.
I get that. I get that.
I just get so angry with other people when I really shouldn't.
I mean, it's kind of understandable.
What's being talked about?
I asked Josh what his thoughts are on Alan Wake 2, and he says he didn't want to see anything because he hates everybody who talks about it.
Understandable.
Plus, honestly, I'm just not sure about it right now. Like, I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, it looks like it could be really good, but also different playable character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, don't. I trust Remedy. I do. I trust Remedy not to screw this up. But also I have trust issues. So I'm like,
I get that. I think, as well, like, I mean, like, I'm definitely excited for it, but, you know, I'm just nervous is all.
I actually can't find any kind of gameplay.
Of Alan Wake 2?
God, no.
they didn't show much. I did sit down and watch the trailer that Teddy posted, but I'm just like, okay, that's great and all. I'm just gonna sit here and pretend like this. It's the weirdest thing to me because I'm like I already have 2 great games. I don't even know if I want this sequel because it's one of those things where like this is too important to me for it to be ruined. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
Now Remedy's never let me down, but still, it's one of those things where I'm like, I've watched too many things I love get destroyed. Tomb Raider's not looking so good based on rumors. And it's just, I'm just,
I felt that one.
Yeah, I feel that.
I will say as well that
oh, I have no faith in Crystal Dynamics anymore. None.
really.
None. 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 They can't write. They have no idea what they're doing. And I remain convinced of this. They don't know how to write a story anymore. And it's it's embarrassing.
Oh, come on, Josh. Shadow of the Tomb Raider was obviously the best Tomb Raider story ever written.
I will actually kill you.
Good.
Honestly, I thought
Wow.
the new Fable trailer... I thought the new Fable trailer was fine. I don't see why everyone is, like, upset about it.
Dare I say as well, I actually also think that when it comes to
Also, guys, let's just be honest about one thing. Fable went downhill after 1, okay? Anything is an improvement over 2 and 3.
What are you talking about, Kane? Fable 3 was obviously the best Halo game ever made. Halo. Did I just say Halo?
Yes, you did.
I swear to God.
A new set of eyes is honestly what I think the Fable series has needed for a really long time.
For me, I think one of the things that here's the thing.
Oh, I will say many bad words about Fable 2. It is awful compared to the first.
Here's what I will say as well. I'm an outsider looking in when it comes to the Fable games because ultimately I am not. Excuse me. I'm not a Fable fan. By any stretch of the imagination. I have played an hour and a half, I think, of the first game, and that's about and like 30 minutes of Halo 2. Fable 2, and that's it. Sorry. That's like actually angering me. Like Halo and Fable. Like they don't even sound like remotely similar. Why am I messing that up?
They both end in... No, they don't. You're an idiot. Trying to defend you, and I thought about it, and I'm like, no,
don't
he's right.
Defend me. Don't defend me. I deserve to be made fun of. God, I'm dumb. Anyway, no, in all seriousness, I'm hoping this new Fable turns out to be good, because, like, from what I've seen, it looks like they're definitely taking it in a bit of a humorous direction, which I thought was one of the strong points of what I saw from the first Fable game. So, with luck...
No. I mean, humor can be there, but no. Fable was really great when it got serious too, though.
Yes.
The Jack of Blades boss fight. Come on now.
Again, I only played like an hour and a half of the first game.
I played through 2 all the way, and I didn't think it was awful, but I also didn't think it was good. It was one of those games where I'm like, it's fine, but it's definitely got issues that need to be worked out. That never were. 3 is trash, and I will stand by that. 3 is just awful.
Oh, come on. Fable 3 was the best game in the series by far.
Disgusting.
So,
best combat, best story, best everything.
Understand that Fable 1 had the perfect blend of comedy and serious storytelling, and Fable 2 tried to do that and failed at both. The story sucked, the humor wasn't good, the gameplay was kinda nice, but also incredibly, stupidly imbalanced due to how they incorporated the gameplay mechanics. Magic was pretty much freaking useless and absolutely made zero sense.
Also, you couldn't lose.
Yeah,
Physically
you
impossible to
basically
lose.
couldn't die.
So it was like, what's the point? Like the whole game. Like people complain about games being too easy now. Like Fable 2, you literally, it was physically impossible not to win.
And I will say as well, like, ultimately what will pull me into this new Fable game is the gameplay. And if that looks good, then bada bing bada boom, I'm all in. I love myself a good fantasy action RPG. I think the fact that I put, like, how many thousands of hours into Elder Scrolls have I put at this point? The answer is too many.
I had a sudden thought.
Just the one,
What?
huh?
Oh no, okay. I gotta look at the new
No.
Fable trailer.
Are you about to crash these two things, Josh?
No, they're not on the same track.
Okay,
You can't do that in this game. They'll just stop. The game literally won't allow that to happen.
Really? I would have liked to do that.
Well, otherwise they would have to have crash animations, and that would take a lot more development time.
Oh no, game developers needing to put effort into something.
This is an indie game. Shut up.
No, I know, I'm joking. I understand just being like, hey, no, you can't crash trains.
Most
gotta
of these
keep that
sims don't let that
E-rating.
happen, actually.
I love Christian's comment, gotta keep that E rating.
Honestly, most of these games don't allow that. I think the only one that ever had accidents that I remember was Railroad Tycoon 2, and even then it was just kind of random when it happened. It wasn't that you can't crash trains into each other because the game will be like, you can't schedule a train to do that. Like it's because it's not supposed to happen, and you can't. And scheduling errors aren't things that occur in your perfect management sim because you are the best railway runner ever.
You are the god of railroad.
That's right.
It's darkness, the god of railroads. Is that a good impression?
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay. I'll take it.
Definitely not the worst thing I've ever been called.
Jeez. Okay. But yeah, no. I don't know. I have been itching for like some more good fantasy RPG stuff. Playing that little bit of Kingdoms of Amalur that I did, I really liked what I played of it.
It's such a good, underappreciated game.
It is, and I think the fact, honestly, being for a sec,
I can't jump. Shut up.
I mean, there's lots of games in which you can't jump, and they're still fine. Although to be frank, and this is actually something that I have not thought about in years. I actually used to judge how good a game was when I was a kid.
How game a good?
How high you could jump. Because I thought that was cool. Keep in mind, this was when I was like 4. I don't think like that anymore, but yeah.
I am very upset about the Fable trailer for a very simple reason.
That being,
please don't be exclusive to the Series S and the Series X. There's literally no confirmation onto what platform it's coming to.
If I know Microsoft lately, it'll probably have a PC version too. Because they've been pretty good about that.
Yeah. I really want that. I really want to, because, like, oh my god, I want to play this game so badly.
it's looking good actually. Like I've never been like again, like Fable's never really been my thing, but like the little bits I saw of it, I was actually impressed. And
yeah, you need to play the first one.
And see, this is where I have problems.
You guys are too lazy to get through the tutorial, I know.
I need to be in the mood to play it.
You also never
You're too lazy to play the tutorial, we know.
Shut up! Anyway,
Nope.
No, he's right!
Dude, Teddy, the amount of games that I've yelled at you about that you haven't gotten through the tutorial, come on.
It's a lot.
Name another one besides the Fable games.
Kingdom Hearts.
I got through the tutorial Kingdom Hearts.
Not through 2.
Well, to be fair to 2, I also stopped playing because I wanted to get through the first one.
You also did it because you couldn't stand Roxas's tutorial.
Kane, dude.
He's right.
Okay,
You literally said that to me. Like, that's just a fact of something you said. Like, and like, I wouldn't even be, like, that annoyed at it if it weren't such a common thing, as well as you keep saying I should get around to it, but then, like, when you do, you complain about the tutorial.
I literally didn't touch Kingdom Hearts 2 after that one time.
Yeah, I know.
So, A, that's a lie. B, the part where I complained about the tutorial isn't a lie. I absolutely did complain about that.
Yes. Because
that's-
and in the fairness of that as well, that I will say, you know, it is something that I both understand, but it's also one of the reasons why I can't stand people calling the other Kingdom Hearts games, why I can't stand the other Kingdom, or why I can't stand people who don't understand Kingdom Hearts talking about Kingdom Hearts, calling the handheld games spin-offs. They aren't. They all tell one cohesive story.
No,
And
that's kind of a problem. Okay.
it is! I agree! But that doesn't change the fact that people are wrong.
Fair.
Like, you can't... Like, I don't like the opening of Kingdom Hearts 2. It doesn't make any sense. Did you play Chain of Memories? That's a spin-off. No, you're stupid. It's actually not, by the way.
Well, I mean, they're stupid.
Kingdom Hearts is very fun. And the tutorials are not that bad. People are just bad at listening to directions.
Like Teddy.
Like, trust me, I've played games with bad tutorials. Kingdom Hearts is not one of them. Kingdom Hearts is a story-driven game. And if you're not willing to go for the ride of the story, it's just not a game for you. That's fine. That doesn't mean it's boring or bad.
I will say that, in particular with the first Dead Rising, the story is one of the things that genuinely kept me playing.
Don't you dare insult the first Dead Rising around me. I will destroy you.
Did I say Dead Rising?
You did say Dead Rising.
I meant Kingdom Hearts, actually.
That's not even remotely the
Okay,
same
no,
genre or developer or platform or
Shut up, I can explain.
Remotely similar about
I am
them.
looking at Dead Rising stuff on my computer and I got confused.
You
can quit your complaining. Anyway. Anyway. Kingdom Hearts is one of the things that genuinely kept me playing. It was the story. The story in the first game is legitimately great.
Yeah, the story of Kingdom Hearts 1 is probably, like, in terms of getting into Kingdom Hearts, if you don't play Kingdom Hearts 1, you're selling yourself short on the narrative.
It is actually, like, legitimately a good story. Also, like, we're never gonna agree on that, Josh. Let's just be honest.
Agree on what?
Our opinions on the first Dead Rising.
Yeah, yours are trash, mine are solid. I agree.
Also, I have a side note, something that I did not realize, and I think I know why.
That being...
I'm gonna have to research this for one more second, just to make sure I don't sound like an idiot. Prince of Persia.
You sound like an idiot? No.
I'm
Oh,
still...
no! Like, honestly, Josh, if I wanted to do that, I'd just talk about Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm still hoping beyond hope that at some point Capcom gives Dead Rising the Resident Evil treatment and just, like, completely reboots it with, like, updated mechanics and stuff, because I think that's the only way they can go at this point.
I don't want to reboot. They already remade the... Well, they did an HD re-release of the first one.
Yeah, which had problems of its own.
But did it? Because I played it and it was fine.
The main issue that I had with it is an issue that I had with the first game as well, and I'm just kind of salty that they didn't include an option for it. I accidentally dodge roll off of stuff all the damn time in that game because it's bound to tapping the same button twice instead of just clicking down the left stick. I get it was a game made in 2006, but the fact that wasn't an option in the remaster greatly infuriates me.
So
God dang it.
Sorry, 1 second. What game again?
The first Dead Rising.
He's-
Dodging was bound to pressing the left stick in a specific direction twice.
He's bad at the game. Is really what he's trying to say.
You know what? No, I'm on his side. That sounds.
Of course,
absolutely
you're on his
asinine.
side. Who else?
Thank you, Kane.
Hello.
Josh.
Hello there. Say hi
That is the-
to everyone.
That is the dumbest dodging method I've
It's
ever
the
heard of.
dumbest dodging method he's ever heard of. He's just not very good at playing things. He's not.
No, I'm also just not stupid in how I design control schemes.
Damn, it's terrible.
It is absolutely asinine.
How is Bell doing? What is
Okay,
it for?
so
I
the version that I was talking about with the remake of Prince of Persia 1,
can't believe him.
it actually released on Xbox 360 and PS3.
Interesting.
I had no idea.
Wait. I know that actually. Yes, I think I own that because I bought it when it was on sale during Christmas sale for like $1.
Yeah, is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. You can. I'll look at the store right now. Actually.
It's
Let's
called
see.
Prince of Persia.
Yeah, it's
$10.
Prince.
Now the
Prince of Persia
question is-
Classic. Yep.
Now
It's
the
still
question-
available.
Now the question is that available still on PS3?
I would not know that. It's available on the
Yeah.
Xbox store, so I don't really see why it wouldn't be on there as well.
I imagine that like that would.
If he considered getting better at the game, and he said no, he did not consider that. It was not a
Designing
thought
your
in
game
his
not
head.
like crap is a good way to
Just
not
like
have that.
You own
be
no
a problem.
thoughts, only purrs, no thoughts.
You know, Josh, when most action games have the dodge button being a single button press, that's usually a good thing.
He's being silly again. He just doesn't like little issues.
I really
It's
beyond
a dumb
anything.
He just can't get over
okay.
the fact that the game.
Okay,
upsets him.
beyond that issue. Okay.
It's
Can I
very
please?
sad. So sad, Gigi. Go ahead.
This is why I have social issues. Anyway,
Social anxiety.
will you shut up? Anyway, what I was trying to say was that as somebody who played Dead Rising 4 and all of its DLCs, there is like literally no way I can see them taking the story after the ending of 4 and its DLCs. I think the story of 4 was bad enough as it is, but the ending is just like there's nothing left to do. Honestly, after the
What about
what
a game where you play as a cat and avoid zombies? Ever think about that?
that would be
Doesn't think
interesting.
He doesn't think
I
about
think the only way they could continue Dead Rising is just full tilt rebooting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Because I do think in general that like if you took the first game's story and you made it using that, then it would be really good. Like basically give it like the Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 2 remake treatment. That being said, I do think it would be a bit harder because I don't. Okay, the RE engine is good, but I don't know how well it would do at rendering all those zombies at once.
Well, they were able to up the pop. Well, that's true. Dead Rising has a lot more zombies than RE. Even at RE's peak, it's not Dead Rising level.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing with Dead Rising is you have like massive hordes of like tens, if not hundreds, of zombies at
I mean,
once.
it's impossible to know how it would fare.
Yeah, I feel like it could be done, but like it's just something that hasn't, I guess, been tried in the RE engine. Because I think the most amount of like action going on at once in an RE engine game so far has been with DMC5. But even then, it's more just like the particle effects and like a few enemies and, you know, cool stuff happening. It's not been like massive hordes of like so many character models and, you know, everything at once.
You know, while we're on the topic of Capcom, can I open an old wound?
I mean, you can. I don't want you to, but you can.
Does anyone remember Deep Down?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about, actually, for once.
Neither do
It was a PS4 game announced back in 2014, and we never got it.
They just pretended like it never existed, or...
I think so. Like, it just kind of stopped getting trailers or anything like that.
But like, that's what I would genuinely like, but I know Capcom is not going to do that. There's literally zero reason for them to do anything related to Dead Rising when Resident Evil is on such a good success train.
If there's any series I would like to see rebooted in the modern age, I would love to see White Knight Chronicles get a reboot.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I think a game like that could absolutely work, but I think it would have to be something that
Kitty, there's a fly in here. Get it.
it would have to be something that people would be more willing to understand the appeal for certain people, or it would have to be like an indie PC game or something. I mean, that's not an option, of course, but like...
I think the worst part as well is like, whereas a lot of people have made, you know, spiritual successors to games like Resident Evil, Dead Rising is in a very unique like part of the genre that is very hard to replicate, and I don't think I've seen anybody in the indie scene trying it out, because like the whole appeal is everything is a weapon, and that's just not something that you see too often in games. Even in other games, like, you know, in like Dead Island and other, you know, zombie focused games, when there's like melee weapons involved, they're always in like they're very specific things. But like the whole appeal of Dead Rising was you could quite literally pick up anything that wasn't nailed down, and it's just not something that I've ever seen replicated.
I know what engine they should remake Dead Rising in.
What?
The Wind Waker engine.
What? What?
I think Josh gets my joke.
I don't. What?
Because you can pick up enemy weapons in Wind Waker.
He's right. He's right.
That's your reasoning.
It was
That's
a joke.
your reasoning.
Seems
That
like
was the
perfectly
joke.
reasonable reasoning to me.
Yes. Although in Wind Waker, I gotta be honest, I only did that in very specific circumstances.
You never had to. There was never reasons to do it, I think is what I was frustrated by.
The only like part where it was necessary was in the Forsaken Fortress, but like there are a couple of times where it is kind of cool. Like I won't deny that taking a Moblin spear and having that like giant like attack wave is just like one of the most satisfying things ever. But for the most part, you could pretty much just accomplish an enemy's death faster by just swinging the Master Sword. Like that's, you know, like by the time that like, you know, you encounter like the better enemy weapons that you can pick up and use, it's not really all that necessary. And it's sad, because that is a cool feature, and I don't think it's been in any other Zelda game prior to what they were doing with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but like that's kind of a different like set of circumstances. Because in there you kind of have to, because you don't have like a basic melee weapon that never breaks, you know?
I mean, not with that attitude.
Well, you don't start with a basic melee weapon that never breaks, I should say. In every other Zelda game, you had like a sword that, you know...
Do you?
I mean, I know there's like those friggin' masochists who have, you know, gotten to Ganon in Zelda 1 without the sword, but like, I'm not one of them.
I still would love to see a full tilt 16-bit remake of the original Zelda.
I really would like that too. Really, the only close thing we have is BS Legend of Zelda, and it's not available on any other platform besides this like really obscure platform that I don't even think was in America, if I remember correctly. It was
the other issue with BS Legend of Zelda is that it's just an incomplete tile set. So like you can't even like replace the full tile set because you don't have all of the tiles. BS Legend of Zelda was only a few different areas, I believe. I could be wrong, or maybe fans have recreated it, but like it's just not like complete enough to do that, and also I don't think Nintendo would appreciate that. But also, you know, Nintendo, get on that. It would take a team of 10 people to do that. Just do it.
They're
It
not
also
gonna do
surprises. It also surprises me genuinely because, you know, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past is one of the most beloved Zelda games of all time. A lot of people consider it to this day to be the best Zelda game ever made.
I
may not. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I may not agree with that, but I won't deny that it is a solid game. And I'm like, you know,
it paved the way for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Every single like modern Zelda game kind of got its start with A Link to the Past. Is what really set the foundation for it. And I still also think that in the case of A Link to the Past, it is, in my opinion, the best 2D game in the series.
A Link Between Worlds, for me, is high up there as way better than A Link to the Past, and Minish Cap is pretty high up there, too.
I like both Minish Cap and A Link Between Worlds, but I kind of, like, the problem with A Link Between Worlds and Minish Cap for me is I just kind of get the sense that, like, maybe with Minish Cap, this is more so. I feel like they kind of tried to do too many things, but when it comes to...
You're gonna need to give me some context to that, because I don't agree at all.
There were several points where I felt like things were either outright missable, or there were just a lot of things to, like, getting the upgraded arrows, as far as I'm concerned, you can actually miss doing that.
I mean, yeah, but you don't have to do that to beat the game, I don't think.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. When I found out that I could have gotten it, I was not happy, to say the least.
Then go get it.
I couldn't, because in the save file that I was in, I had missed them. I thought I would get them through the story, like, you know.
Okay, when have you ever just casually gotten arrow upgrades through the story outside of fire, ice, and light?
Never, but they were the light
That's
arrows.
the point!
Also, how do you miss the light arrows?
It's the dude who's sick in like the main Hyrule town. You have to like suck up the ghost that's like causing his sickness. I didn't know to do that. I thought I had to like get him like a potion or something. No, you
Did
literally
you
have
even
to
Zelda,
use...
dude?
Ironic coming from you, but yes, I do.
Yeah, I know, and I know this.
Like, if it, like, Teddy, you're complaining about that, and it's like, I get your complaint, but that's not what we're complaining about. Okay, listen. A Link to the Past is excellent, but do you want to know one of the reasons I think it kind of sucks?
Why?
The Ice Rod.
That I'll give you.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do, and I am not at all going to try to defend that because I thought that was really dumb.
Literally a required item that you have to go exploring on your own to go find. And you're complaining about missing the light arrows. That was an optional thing that you didn't need to finish it.
In all fairness, you like. That is more of a personal thing with me, because I hate when games do that.
Yeah, that's fine, but if it's a personal thing, then it's something that's not really the game's fault.
It is, because it's something I don't like in a game. It is the game's fault. I'm not saying it'll affect everybody, but it is the game's fault that it does something that I personally don't like.
No, it's your fault that you don't like what the game did.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kane. I'm sorry to, be like that. Like, no, that makes no sense to me. That's like saying,
We know it makes no sense to you. That's kind of part of the problem.
Oh my god.
Teddy, I hate Monster Hunter because of everything it does. despise that franchise with every fiber of my being. You know this. That's on me. I could sit here and yell to you about how garbage Monster Hunter's weapons feel from any other action RPG that I've gone with. I could complain that Monster Hunter doesn't play like Kingdom Hearts, so it's a terrible game. That doesn't make any sense. Because that's a personal gameplay choice for me that I much more value the speed, the fluidity, and the lock-on systems that Kingdom Hearts incorporate. Which just means Monster Hunter's not for me. And for you, I understand the frustration. But that's on you that you're taking issue with missing an optional thing. Like,
It also doesn't mean I have to like it, though.
Yeah, that's fine. But okay. Since we're trying to be... The reason I'm bringing it up is because we're trying to be a bit more objective about the Zelda games right now. Because we're talking about, like, what's the best 2D Zelda. And in terms of that, I think that A Link Between Worlds and Minish Cap are both very high up there as extremely excellent, well-designed 2D Zelda games. A Link to the Past is good, and I would still put it up there, but not as high as the other two. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
objectively speaking, missing the light arrows is not a make-or-break deal. That's a you thing. It's a make-or-break for you subjectively, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game design decision because you missed something.
Yeah, I get that.
I miss shit all the time.
I do think, like, again, like, I get it is a subjective thing, but, like, God, it is the one thing that bothered me. I'm not gonna complain about the, what was it? Is it the medallion system that I'm thinking of?
I need more info than that.
The green, blue, red thingies you put together to get collectible minifigures.
Those are not the medallions. The medallions are for the Link to the Past, and what you're thinking of is kinstones.
Yes, thank you. Like, I will say that did kind of get a little bit annoying after a while. It isn't necessary, but, like, OCD takes over.
That's a you thing, though. Like,
I get that. It comes down, I feel, to personal enjoyment.
yeah, but that's also not really being objective. Like, the kinstones work just fine.
They do.
There's nothing wrong with them.
No, they do not have an actual, like, fault. It's just...
In fact, if you're gonna sit here and complain about something in Minish Cap, and you're not even bringing up the biggest actual problem with Minish Cap.
That being?
A piece of heart.
Which one?
These statues.
Huh?
There is a piece of heart that you can only get by collecting every single statue in the game.
I don't...
And the amount of... Listen, I have literally watched someone on YouTube run the numbers and figure this out. If you try and argue against this, I will kick you out of the call.
Okay. You don't have to threaten me with a good time. Anyway,
it is the worst thing in Minish Cap because it is based off of random chance. It is based off of grinding useless items. It is based on rupees and nothing else. It is horrendously designed.
Okay, I get that, Kane, but I also still don't have any clue what it is you're talking about.
It's a well, then you didn't get that piece of heart, and I
did not. And what I'm asking you is, can you please explain to me, like where it is, because I don't remember it.
I don't remember the building right offhand. Let me look this up. Minish Cap statue.
I was like, I understand what you're talking about. It's just A, I don't remember that because it's been a hot minute since I played Minish Cap, and B, I never did fully 100%. But also, I will never defend stuff like that because I absolutely despise RNG like that in games.
It's so bad. Because literally, I watched a guy go through and like grind it up, and he even had like I think like speed hacks or something like that on there to help with it, and it took it is way too long. It is literally the worst thing in the entire game. But it is also the one optional piece of heart. Figurines? Was it?
Yeah. I'll be right back, actually, on that subject.
Figurines in the Minish Cap. But yeah, that piece of heart is bad. I wonder.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Also, no one has tried to fix it. I am sad at this. Yeah, it's Okay. Do you remember in the one house in Castletown where there's a piece of heart and a like record player sitting in the back with a locked door?
Uh-huh.
That's the thing. That's the reward for finishing this side quest. It's not telling me where it is. It's just telling me. It's just showing me all of the statues or figurines. Cause yeah, it's so bad. It is probably the worst side quest in any Zelda game ever.
Why is it that bad?
Because you have. I'm trying to figure out a good way to talk about how bad this is, but imagine grinding rupees and seashells for multiple days, probably even longer, and you have to get all 136 figurines in order to get a single piece of heart. And in order to get these figurines, you have to run a roulette wheel, essentially, and get all of them through random chance, and the more shells you add to the machine, the higher chance of getting something you don't already have.
Oh,
So
wait, I remember that one now!
So it's very possible to get duplicates of things you already have.
No, I hated that. I hated that.
It's the worst quest in all of Zelda because it has no skill. It is literally just grinding for days upon days upon days, and it's just awful. It is absolutely terrible. And it's the one giant glaring problem with Minish Cap, in my opinion. That's like an actual major issue.
Neat!
Yeah. I already didn't like the baseball game, or baseball minigame in Link Between Worlds, but at least I could do that one. And yes, there's a baseball minigame in a Zelda game. And it's in the past.
But
Or not in the past, in the alternate world. Low rule.
You're losing me here. The more you
That
talk,
game
the
is
more
excellent.
stupid this gets.
Okay, to be fair, Link Between Worlds is excellent. Very, very good game.
But
It's no, that's just it. It's an excellent game. There's not really a but. It's very, very good.
But
Like if you were gonna make a spiritual successor to Link's Awakening, that was the way to do it. Baseball minigame's not that bad. It's just a weird thing out of nowhere, you know?
But
It's stuck on the 3DS.
There's the but we were waiting for.
That's the only but I can think of. Excellent 3DS game, though.
But
It's on the 3DS. The most frustrating thing about games being stuck on the Wii U and the 3DS is that only one of those consoles was successful and worthwhile, and the other is the Wii U. But the other issue is that due to the fact that the console is dead in the water and you can't buy any of the games anymore, like, you can't do anything about that now.
And they're starting to
unless you-
break, apparently.
Yeah. So, you know, that's why I have physical cartridges. How's that digital storefront going, everyone?
It's the way of the future, Kane.
Yeah, the way of not owning anything.
The future.
The future looks bleak.
Ooh, harsh.
Indeed.
My head feels bleak. You can count on me to do anything. It's kill a conversation.
I mean, I'm just distracted right now.
What?
What is this conversation that you speak of?
Yeah, the yellow diesels are. This might be. I forget what those are actually. Hold on, let me check. Pretty sure they're GP9s, but I'll double check real quick. They're SD7s actually. The other one, the black one, that one's a GP9. Alright guys, I gotta leave shortly, so I'm gonna take off.
Alright.
Later, stream.
Later stream.
I have Minish Cap music going through my head.
Don't